This podcast is not rated. Listener discretion advised. Mission to 50.
Guys, we've reached it. We've reached it after nearly 2 hours. No, 1 hour. 2 hours? Holy shit, 2 hours.
Was it
already.
like 2 years?
Almost 2
It's 2
It's
years.
been an hour and a half.
2 years, 2 hours.
2 years, 2 hours, summed it all up.
The
Ready to
main
go.
event in this corner, we have Timmy Kneebuckles weighing
That's
in
right.
at 112 pounds.
113 pounds. Okay, what? Yep.
And in this corner,
That's right.
we have
because he just dumped beer all
Larry of
over himself.
Arabia
Yeah, that's
with his shellacking stick and his bucket of clay or whatever he has.
Hey, how you doing?
That's Larry of Arabia?
That's Larry.
That's not Larry
What?
Right.
Hey, he's old. Larry Arabia's old. So yeah, he's a little guy.
This
So-
is changing
so-
his character in my
Oh
head
my
right
God.
now.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, I think he's going to go down. I'm going to get you next.
I'm gonna fuck you, Larry.
We're going to get you in the
I thought
desert
Larry and
next
Timmy
time.
had the same voices.
Yeah, I thought so
No,
too.
no.
I think they
Larry's
did.
old.
I will bring
Larry's
you some
old.
audio. I'll bring you some
Yeah,
audio
but-
that says
yeah.
different, TC.
Okay, how you doing? Well, fuck you too. Is that better?
Yes.
yeah. I'll meet you on the desert, you son of a bitch. I'll see you there, you bastard. What?
All right. Top five,
All right.
bottom three.
All right.
The last 50
Here we
movies.
go.
We watched 100 to 51 on the IMDb top movies of all time. And we're going to go with the same rules. If you match,
Yep.
not including number one, say it before the other person starts reviewing. And who did we start with last time? John? So TC.
Why don't you
It's
go
your turn
first,
to
Denny?
go first. TC
Denny, go
did
first.
First last time. Your turn.
Me.
Your turn.
All right, let's go.
Number 5. Denny's 5.
It's you.
Number 5, Inglourious Bastards, Quentin Tarantino.
I gotta stop you right there because that's my number 4.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Trump, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta find my list. Where's my
Oh,
list?
well, where is it on
see if TC
TC's
has it.
list?
I gotta see if TC has on his.
Yeah.
I don't know. What the fuck? Why is it?
I think that this might happen.
I don't
if
know how
we're
to
not
use
on our-
email anymore, so.
I know, you poor
I'm
bastard.
It's hard.
so old.
It's hard to use
I don't know
email.
what happened. I just read an email and it disappeared. Oh, there we go. All right, we're good.
Okay, we're good. So
Yeah.
I put that as number 4, and it is because of that first scene. That first scene is the best, one of the best scenes ever in film. That whole first scene of, where they're confronting each other in the house and the refugees are underneath the floorboards. That is like one of the best things ever in film.
Agreed.
And I don't necessarily care as much for the rest of the film nearly as much as I
Shut
did
up,
that first part. Hey, I ranked it higher than you did, asshole.
Yeah,
Don't tell
but for a
me
weird
what's
reason.
better. Yeah. But again, I just think, the characters that are in that film and some of the way, so, and then the second scene where they're playing cards, and they have the shootout. That's another one of my favorite scenes as well. So this film has like two of some of the best scenes, I think, of any films that I've seen, in terms of like set pieces and the way the actors interact with each other and the way the action occurs. And to me, that's what, when I think of this film, I think that's like, I don't think of this film in total. I just think of these scenes that were just so amazing, as good as anything I've seen. And that makes it still worth it. Like that totally puts it up on the list for me because it's just fantastic. So,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. You may go now, Denny.
I mean, I agree that the first scene and the scene with the shootout and the cards are two of the three best scenes in this movie. The third one being the theater scene at the end with the smoke projector when they get to kill all the Nazis. I don't know how that doesn't rank up there for you.
It's
that
just over the
scene,
top. It's more, I don't know.
Over the top? Yeah, it's over the top. The entire
I don't
fucking
know.
movie's over the top.
I know, but it's more about the action and stuff, and it's not so quiet. Then I guess what I love about those two scenes is how tense and quiet and sort of smoldering they are. Not like literally smoldering, like the later one. It's like, I don't know. I think that's what I really, really love about those two scenes. So
I don't think this movie would have been as good if it didn't have an explosion at the end. If this movie was
it's
quiet and
fair.
smoldering all the way to the
Yeah.
end, it would be very
Yeah.
disappointing. I feel like it's building up. Like there's so much tension with Nazis in this movie,
maybe
where
I
you
don't know.
need that release at the end. I do.
Maybe.
It's just so incredibly satisfying.
I don't know if I agree because I still think it's sort of like I need to watch it again, but I sort of almost had the same kind of feeling that we do at Django, where it's like, man, I watched like the first half and I'm like, this is the best thing ever, and then it's like, it just sort of fades out.
I don't think there are slow parts in this movie. I don't think the parts that aren't as good as like the super intense first scene are that much worse. Like the characters are really fully realized. It's weirdly comical. Tarantino does his thing the best in this movie than any of his other movies, where it's like kind of scary, kind of dramatic, kind of funny, all at the same time. And there's nothing else like it. He does it consistently throughout this movie. It is one of the most watched movies, I think, of the past, like, since this movie's come out. I watch this like once a year.
For you, yeah. I can see why.
It's like Blade Runner. It's like you turn it on for that first scene.
Right,
like I know the first 5
right,
minutes are going to be awesome because I remember that. And the rest of it's just like, oh, yeah, gravy. Here we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. TC.
What's your number 5?
5.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Ah.
I'm going to stop you right there, TC.
Oh, that might happen.
John, are you going to stop anybody?
No stopping.
The Shining, I have number 2 for me.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Way up there, kid.
So if we're talking about movies that I like to watch frequently,
I like to watch movies.
I like to watch The Shining.
I like to watch.
The
Every
Shining
night.
was the only movie during the pandemic that I knew was coming up on the list, and I watched anyway because I knew I was going to watch it again. Because Stanley Kubrick is one of my favorite directors, might be my favorite director, who knows. But this one is the most entertaining by far. It's the most rewatchable with other people, which is great because like a lot of his movies are kind of, some people don't like them, like they're too much, they're too slow, too art housey, something like that. But everyone likes The Shining. I don't really know why. I think it's because Jack, his character, is so entertaining to watch, like scene to scene.
It helps, yeah.
It's really just flat out entertaining.
Right, but then you add that to the scenery, the setting, the
way
camera
it's
work,
shot, the sound design,
Yeah.
the little kids acting, like Wendy's acting. Yeah, Wendy's acting.
No.
Yeah.
Could have done without
She
that.
fits. She's on the list, TC.
It works.
It works.
It's part of why it works, I think. It's the contrast. You know, she needs to like match Jack's intensity, but from a different emotion.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She just sucks.
No.
I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It was miserable.
All right.
But I mean, it's on my list, so obviously I love it.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go.
Right.
Right. So,
And I mean this. So I think The Shining, it might have helped too that like was the last one that we got to dive deep on. Like it was the last Kubrick movie on the list where I felt motivated to dive deep on Kubrick and to learn a lot about him. And there is a lot of trivia on this movie. He tried really hard to do something with this movie. It's really weird listening to like his motivations in the movie and then watching the movie because he was like going for something in one direction. It confused everyone on set, but then this movie came out and everyone like, oh yeah, blockbuster, art house, lasts a long time. It's still on fucking Halloween every year.
Every year. Yeah.
I don't think he even knew what he was doing, but he fucking did it. And it's a classic. It's fucking amazing.
He knew.
Yeah.
DC.
No, I mean, I don't have anything else to say. You can't stand Wendy, but I love the snow. I mean, I love the idea of like being holed up in some place in northern Vermont or one of those places where it's just snow and you can't. I love I miss a good snow day, right? Like I feel like that's what I relate that to is like a snow day where you're like, I don't have to do shit today because I can't even leave the house.
Not putting shoes on, putting warm socks on, sitting on the floor all day.
I'm gonna put on a onesie with the fucking feet, and I'm gonna sit on the ass in the TV.
TC, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one of my favorite moments in shots of the movie where it's just like it's Danny playing on the carpet in front of the TV with his trains, and the shot just zooms out. It's the entire day. It's like Wednesday or something. It's like Wednesday. Danny on the ground with the toys, zooming out for like maybe 2 minutes until it has the entire room. Wendy's in the chair. It's snowing outside. It's nice and warm and orange. And then it's just like Thursday. And you're like, yes.
Yeah, I know.
This movie's so
whole
fucking
fucking day. Yeah.
And the cut to Thursday is just like violence, like shink. It's like, oh, that's right. It's a horror movie. It's scary.
That's right. We were like someone's dying soon. Yeah. So and there's that blood scene, obviously, too, that just is iconic. Yeah, there's just so much about that movie that, even after I see it recently, I'm like, yeah, I could do that again. So, I mean, even the noise too, right? Like I had the 5.1 system brand new for that too. And I had it so loud you were hearing it across you must have been hearing it at the fucking beach. I'm a couple blocks back. You know what I mean? Like that shit was out the window and that piercing, like, Oh, that's enough to make me shake just now. So,
And the low end with the blood just like rumbling your entire house.
yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Great stuff. Excellent stuff.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. Where
my
are
number
we
five
at?
then?
You're number
I
five.
think.
There we go.
Yes, my number five. My number five is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Hey, and I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Oh,
All right,
I knew
you
that
stopped
was
me
going to
right
happen
there.
as soon as you said it, John.
Well, I didn't know that might be your number one. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But
No, I think
There
I
you go.
put it at number 2. Hold on, let me see. It's
Well, yeah,
either
why don't
2
you
or
Uh-oh.
3.
It's gonna be
I
his
put
number
it at
one, isn't it?
I put it at number 3.
Okay, number 3. Go. You go.
So yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time. So got my favorite composer in it, John Bryan. It's got my favorite storyline, which is just like life sucks, women suck, people suck. That's my bread and butter. John, go ahead. I'm not going to rehash that whole thing. I already blushed all over it when we did the review.
I know you did, but no, I just love this film. It's just this very, very modern film too. I don't know. It's just, and just the idea of it's horrible, but you would probably do it again. Just that whole idea is just amazing. I think that the way that they convey that in this film and the way they show sort of people like falling in love and getting on each other's nerves and all of that is just so well done. And it just seems, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It feels weird to say it's modern. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it just feels very contemporary and the way that it's done. And
I mean, it's one of those stories that's just going to never change.
Yeah.
Because it's the way that people interact no matter what, every single time.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's set in the future. I don't know, but it just feels a bit timeless the way it's done.
And like the idea that you would remove yourself from all those shitty things, like I'd do that. It's like any other drug, right? You're escaping from the
then
pain.
you'll go back to them.
Yeah.
It just has something to say about the bittersweetness of life in a way that I think it just sort of captured it extremely well. And I think that that was.
And it had a matching soundtrack because like John Bryan was in his prime with that shit. That's like the tone he was capturing in his music was the same tone that they were going for in the film, and it like married perfectly. Yeah.
Can I talk about it too? Because I really like this movie too.
You talk a little bit about
Jump
it.
in
Editing
anytime.
too.
You don't have to raise your hand.
I like it how they do the little sound thing whenever they're deleting a memory towards the end where he's like sad about it. And it's like, boom. And it just like cuts to the next scene. You're like, shit, they just deleted that memory out of his head. God damn, that's sad.
And it was like a reversed piano.
Yeah.
Those sounds. Because I've always tried to like emulate it. And then the only thing I can come close with is a piano.
And Jim
So he's
Carrey,
just
that's got
so
to be
good
his
at,
best
like-
performance too, right?
Oh, hands
I
down.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
'Cause it
more
was
of an
such
Ace
a
Ventura
normal-
fan myself and Dumb and Dumber, but like, hell
Yeah, but he was
Jim
such
Carrey
a normal
in this movie.
actor in that, though. It was so nice. It was such a breath of
But
fresh air for him
has
that he
a
wasn't doing all
vulnerability
that
that he
shit.
shows that really works
Yeah.
well. I mean, you're really sympathetic for the guy. He's very, very like sensitive in it. It's really good.
I mean, I still repeat that fucking line. Like, I will literally be out and I will see a woman. It's amazing. And I will say to myself, she'll look at me and then she'll smile. And I will literally say that line, like, why do I fall in love with every single woman that smiles at me?
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember Joel Barish in that line every time. Because it's the same old line that everybody feels like, right? Like when you see someone
the
and then you get like a
butterflies.
little butterfly and you're just like, oh shit, that happened. Yeah. Like, and then for Joel, it's like, just the death of them.
Yeah.
Because it happens every time, and it was just like, it's just such a relatable film, I think, for most people. So,
Yeah.
Number 3.
and it's got Mark
Number
Buffalo.
3.
Got Buffalo. in there.
Buffalo in there.
Little sprinkle
Nobody
of
hates
Buffalo.
Dancing in his underwear.
I know.
His
it's
underwear.
great.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Elijah Wood in that movie is hilarious too. You stole their
Yeah, he
panties? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they start laughing about it.
Yeah. They're like,
Right.
what's the matter with you? Yeah.
I love
No,
it how
it's-
Buffalo laughs at it. Like he's
Yeah.
about to scold him as a coworker, but he's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's like, that's funny. Never mind. Yeah.
Right.
What can I say? I'm fucking the other broad,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
we're
what
not
he-
very
yeah.
professional at
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. It's just a great film. Great film.
Nice. So where are we at? So we're back
So
to
now-
me for 4?
No, it's back
We're
to
number
you for
4.
Number 4. Yeah, back to Demi.
Number 4, Lawrence of Arabia.
I got to stop you right
Oh,
there.
I knew it.
It's funny because I have that somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
All right, John, where's it on
else
your
would
list?
you have it? Oh, wait, never mind. Okay. I just so this film is first there's
TC
Peter O'Toole.
does TC just spoil it just then?
I don't know, maybe he did,
Yeah,
but we'll just
probably.
talk as if it didn't happen. And he bleeped that out.
Which one? Sorry, John.
what? So Lawrence Arabia.
Which number?
I have that for number 3.
Number 3. Nice.
Because Peter O'Toole, first of all, that performance is like fucking amazing. He's so good as that character. I mean, if everything else was shit, this still would be like in one of my lists because he is just, as far as like a singular performance goes, he's just insanely.
He is Daniel Day-Lewis as Daniel Plainview in this movie. That's how good he is.
Yeah,
it is
well put. Really.
It is like
It's
one of the
it's just-
best things I've ever seen.
Maybe I
in
don't
acting.
remember the movie.
Yeah.
Lawrence of Arabia?
Yeah, I don't know if I remember.
Oh my god! They're in the desert, you know.
That's all I remember. That's why I didn't fucking. That's why I didn't score very high.
We got the whole Larry of Arabia there. You know?
It's not working, TC.
Yeah, spackling. You know.
All I remember was the joke. I don't even remember
we had
the
the
movie.
joke, right?
Yeah.
You know, so okay, fine. So you got Peter O'Toole doing one of the best performances ever, maybe
Ever. That should be enough for a classic movie, right?
But then
Wow.
you have the scenery and the settings and the amazing story that's there. But the way that they handle the camera work is fucking amazing. The score is really good. It's grand Hollywood type of score, but it really works with this.
But it's the only one of those that you can say that I'm not annoyed
Right.
by. Usually
I
Grand
know.
Hollywood is
Yeah.
just like, it's
Yeah.
worthless trash now. It's just like,
Yeah.
here's this whole, like Ben-Hur. Sure,
Right,
you
right,
get this
right.
huge set with a bunch of horses, but I don't care about any of the characters, and none of this
Yeah.
matters. But in this, it's just like, holy shit, there are armies moving, and they have the people on horses
Yeah,
in the desert doing it.
No, and it's amazing, and then all of the themes about the government making use of this guy and how all of that interplays, where he wants to be a leader and liked, and so he's like persuaded into these things. The whole story,
It makes him really sympathetic, right? Because he doesn't like the killing. He doesn't
No.
like his job. He just does
No.
it because he's kind of forced into it, and he realizes he's good at it. Right?
Yeah.
There's like a lot
Right.
of stuff
Plus,
going on.
and then like there's just little things like each of the little like characters, like the reporters or the little sub characters there have so much like insight and thoughtful things to say along the way too. That's just really amazing too. I mean, this is another film. As long as it is, like once it's on, I'm like, oh shit, I want to watch this now because it's
It's
just
4 hours
so
long?
Fucking
Is
good.
it?
I know,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, it's fucking long, but it's so good. It's just so
good.
amazing. I mean, it really, you know, again, every time we start talking about these films, I was like, oh, I should have put that up higher even. But this is one that like easily could have been my number one because it just.
The only reason this
just
wasn't my
really-
number one is because I've only watched it twice so far. This movie
okay.
is so
Yeah.
fucking good. It's kind of
Yeah.
spoilery, I guess, for the other ones in the list, but who cares?
Yeah.
This movie, like, it is the best movie that I've watched from this list that I hadn't seen before.
Oh yeah,
Easily.
yeah. Yeah. If I hadn't seen this,
Right?
I'd
I'm
put it
surprised
there.
I hadn't seen it before. I'd recommend it to anybody. I've tried to, but everyone's like 4 hours and it's old.
Right,
No, and I'm
right,
like,
and it's
no, you
old.
have to though. It literally hasn't aged yet. It's so good. It's better than like, it feels like Indiana Jones. I actually watched half of it recently just because I was like, where am I going to put this one on the list? I need to see if it is actually as good as I remember it being. And it was.
John Michael Hartley. He's
Maybe
just
I
so
need to
fucking
rewatch
good.
it.
Dude, it's
You
funny,
should rewatch it,
dramatic.
too.
I don't
His
remember
character
it.
is deep. His acting is amazing. The cinematography is fucking top notch. The sound, the
This is
score,
gonna be tough when we switch lists.
the epicness of it.
That's fair.
On top of everything else, also, there are battle scenes where there are thousands of people on horses with swords and then also planes flying over them and like just these huge set pieces. It's insane. There's nothing else like it. There's
Right,
literally
but
nothing
on top
else
of
like
that,
it.
to have that plus the characters that they have, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's
not
just
shallow.
to
It's
have the
just-
whole package, you know.
It's mind blowing how much is
Yeah.
in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So I don't remember this movie at all.
What were you doing that
Because,
week?
I put that on.
TC.
I'm just gonna say it because we're talking about the movie now. I put that on my bottom worst 3.
Oh my
What?
god!
Yeah. So I don't remember the movie at all
you must
because
not
like
remember because you just remember
because
the joke.
honestly I just remember the joke. And I was thinking
The
to
joke
myself,
was
it's
good.
old.
It was a good joke.
It's old.
was a
The
good joke.
was solid. Yeah, but and I just think the movie's old. So like, you know, I really didn't even think about the
TC,
movie part of it.
You have some homework,
You know?
my friend.
Yeah,
you need to
I didn't
go
even
and-
think about like the part of like how many people were in the
I didn't
movie,
think about
like
the
all
movie
this
part of
shit.
it.
I didn't think about it at all.
I was rating
Yeah.
the movie. I didn't think about
Wait,
the movie
did
part
you
of it.
really
Yeah.
not like the movie though? I think you did. Didn't
He
you?
liked it.
I don't remember.
I think you did.
Yeah, you liked it. You have to go listen to that episode at least, maybe.
No, you did.
Whatever.
Guys, I
You
can't
definitely
remember what
did.
I did last week, let alone the movie I watched 2 years ago.
God.
All right,
You're
you
such
know,
a-
and
you're-
yeah,
I love it. You're,
just-
you're an awesome critic. TC's
Yeah.
bottom 3. I don't remember this one, but
I
yeah,
thought
I
it was
remember
bad,
this one,
but
so I
apparently
put
it
it
was
on
good.
there.
Let me change my list.
exactly. So I'm
There's
kind
a
of
pretty
thinking
good
maybe I
joke
made
that
a
we made
mistake.
about it. And then,
Yeah, it's
All
a
right,
pretty good
TC,
joke. That's
it
about
was
all I
old
remember.
and long. Old
We'll
and long,
allow
I
a
know
second
that.
revision.
That's-
You can you
Yo,
can take this
that's
one off your bottom
exactly,
3.
John. That's exactly
Right.
what happened. I was like, all I remember that movie was it was old and really long. Fuck that movie.
TC,
Yeah.
watch it, man. You should.
You liked
it's
it. I
captivating
remember. I'm
right
thinking
from
about the
you
episode
did
right
like
now.
it.
You liked it.
I don't doubt it.
You did.
I just don't remember it.
Yeah. That's fine. All right, so take it off your list.
I know
TC.
you're right. I
Find,
just don't remember it.
take one of the ones that you had to cut off your bottom 3 and replace
right.
it with the
All
Lawrence
right.
of
Yeah,
Arabia.
we
All right,
really
let's
should
do
have a
that.
mulligan there. You
Yeah,
really
2
don't want
mulligans.
Yeah, I got a
Only 2
mulligan.
mulligans so far. It's not so bad.
I
It's not
got
bad.
like all.
No, you're
was
doing
it
better
top
than
5?
last time, I think.
Yeah.
So I got 8 mulligans I'm gonna need now. Yeah, top 5 out of 3. I need 8. I need 8 mulligans.
All right. Where we got? Where are we at now here? So that was that was your number 4, right, Denny?
That was my number 4. That was your number
Right.
3.
Right. So now we're to
So, all right, TC's 4.
TC's 4. What was
Best-
your number
fourth
4
best.
Best 4. Okay. Oh, I have Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, I liked that one because there's just good acting. It's got that fucking Tarantino feel thing
it's
going.
like
It's
him-
just
him-
the whole
him
thing.
Shut up, John.
becoming his
Shut
own
up.
there.
No, you can.
No,
I'm
give him
sorry,
at least
go
10
TC.
seconds.
You're right.
Give him
I'm
10
sorry.
seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're right.
Yeah,
Go,
I
TC.
thought I liked Tim Roth. I really like him, and he was good. I mean, when he's like freaking out in the back of the car, fuck man, I'm gonna die, man. Fuck man, and he's just going. One of my
Barry
favorite
Denny
scenes.
didn't like that.
No,
thought
I
you
didn't like that, no.
part.
I love that scene.
I'm gonna
I did
die.
too.
I know it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die. I know it.
Over and over and over and over again. It's
And
great.
you have
Yeah,
Harvey
it's great.
Keitel being like, "You got shot
Yeah.
in the stomach,
You
man.
got
It's
shot in
gonna
the
hurt you
stomach,
again,
man.
but it takes
It's
a long
gonna hurt
time
real
to
bad,
die."
man. Just keep talking to me, man. Just keep
Ah, it
talking to
hurts.
me, man.
It hurts,
man. It hurts. Just keep talking to me, man. It's so gonna be okay, man. So that's about what I remember from that movie. So
Classic.
yeah, no, it's a good one. I just like that tone, the idea that they're just like shitty fucking con men. I mean, it's something that's been played out on television since that movie probably a million fucking times.
Mhm.
So, it obviously related, people liked that storyline. I don't know. It's good all around good movie, I think.
It's great how that was. So he wrote the script for that, and he had friends in Hollywood. Never made a movie before. Everyone loved the scripts. They tried to replace him as a director in that one, right? But he's like, "No, this is my fucking script. I'm directing it. I don't give a shit what the budget's going to be. I'm doing it. I already have all these cool actors that are going to be in it. That made it.
Yeah.
And it was like a low budget movie. It made a shit ton of money.
But you could see
I mean,
everything.
yeah.
You could see everything he was going to do there, like his dialogue and his sense of action and his sense of music. Putting the song "Little Green Bag" in there, or "Stuck in the Middle" or what. I mean, just an amazing sense of putting a soundtrack to a film too with existing music.
It's not like special for the film.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Whenever you think of making a pop movie or something, it's like give everyone what they want. Get the most popular things of the general population to give them that. In that movie, it's like I only want cool people to like this movie. So we're going to put the best cool music I can in this, make everyone look as cool as fucking possible, and give them really cool dialogue. And that's going to be the movie.
I feel like that was kind of like how they did the Hunter Thompson movies too. It was just like that tone in the 70s and 80s of those kind of guys, right? Like that cool hip writer crowd. The ones that are anti the man.
It's like intellectual counterculture type of thing.
Yeah, right. Because they're the ones that rob and steal and don't fucking follow rules and all that shit. And they got the cool grunge music that goes with it, or the cool the funk music, because that was the anti-man music at the time. It's good stuff.
Yeah, great stuff.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't any cooler though because I watched it. That was the problem. I wanted to be, but didn't happen.
No, John.
Well,
Number 4.
I've done my 4. I've already said my 4 because that was Inglourious Bastards. And so have we all done our 4? Are we on to 3 now?
So you guys have already done your 3s.
Yeah,
I
did my
have not
3.
done my
Have
3.
you not done your 3?
Oh,
what's
what's
my
your
3
3,
yet.
Denny?
What is your 3?
Bastards.
What?
My number.
Hey, what? Hey, fuck you too, man.
I'm just writing down. I'm trying to keep track here.
I'm sorry.
I have an Apple notepad open with a
strong
little.
here. Excuse me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, John, take it easy. Huh?
They call us bastards. We're not,
I was like, damn, dude, you're
trying to
fucking
spill it out.
I'm surprised you got this much energy right now. It's fucking
Me
late.
too.
Number 3. Number 3.
Number 3. What you got?
Clockwork
Number
Orange.
3? Oh,
Ah, yes.
I don't think I didn't want to put that one on because it's so fucked up.
It is so fucked up.
Did you guys not put this on your list?
I will
No.
hold my mouth shut while you say things before I say things. It's hard
This
not to
movie
go with these films.
is probably the most memorable movie on the list. It is scary as hell. It's still scary. I like horror movies, and this movie is almost too scary. But at the same time, it is entertaining. It has one of the best characters in the movie, I think. Alex DeLarge is just, I don't know. He's like comparable to Peter O'Toole in Lawrence of Arabia. He's comparable to like Daniel Day-Lewis, but he's not realistic. Like the whole movie is also like a weird, fucked up fantasy sort of thing, and it exists in its own world, which is very strange and unsettling. But it's so consistent throughout the entire movie that it seems cohesive. It's like it transports you to a futuristic fantasy dystopia, and the costumes are insane. The cinematography is some of Kubrick's best. The performances are terrifying and funny and dramatic. The whole movie is like a nightmare. It's like the most nightmarish movie I can think of. And that's a good thing to me.
Yep.
Because I like scary movies. And
Seems
this
weird.
movie is,
It
does seem weird, doesn't it? But hey, TC,
Yeah, it sounds
there's a lot
strange.
of people like me, TC. I'm not the only one.
The style, everything. The style.
It's a
of the music,
weirdo.
Yeah. It is weird. But again, I think you're right saying this idea of it also, on top of everything else, this singular performance by Malcolm McDowell. I mean, it's just
nothing else
fucking
like it.
amazing. Yeah, right? I mean, again, like we were saying, like it's like he's Mick Jagger. He has so much charisma. He's like a rock star.
He wasn't a person before
Right.
this movie, but the first second of this movie, you're just like, whoa.
Who is
This guy is fucking
Right.
cool. And then you learn what he does, and you're like, I am in conflict with my emotions. Like for the rest of the movie. Because you're just like, this
Like,
guy's
I
a
want
piece
to
of
be
shit.
on his team,
but
not do those shitty things.
Yeah. And the way he
Right.
delivers, he
Right.
was so young when he did this. And the way he delivers lines is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Burgess's writing was like so good in the first place. And the way Kubrick edited that book down and the way the lines were delivered is just like, it's perfect. Like it was totally lucky or something. I don't know. And the energy of the movie also is just scary energy, right? It's like violent energy.
That's the part I don't like.
I mean,
I get it. I mean, it's why I didn't.
I
Yeah.
agree. I understand why you wouldn't like that
Yeah.
part, but I think it's amazing how they got that on film. Like they didn't,
Yep.
they didn't just
Oh,
like
yeah.
film somebody
Yeah.
beating somebody in a 10-second video. They harnessed that kind of energy and they made an entire movie out of it, which is just, I don't know. There's like
Unusual.
rarely.
Right, like
Other
you might
movies.
get like a horror film or whatever where you're just going for shock, but to get this combination of craftsmanship in this with this topic, I mean, it's just it's very strange. It's very unsettling.
I don't know if I'd watch it again, to be honest.
I've seen it a bunch.
Blame you for not.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah,
I watched this movie at a young age and it made me a movie fan. This movie was, I would say, one of the 5 movies that made sure that I'd do this. Like I'd credit it for this. I'm making you guys fucking do this. This movie made me
thanks
do
to
this.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
I feel like Denny was also like sitting down with a magnifying glass, just like roasting ants.
No,
too,
I'm a
you know?
nice guy, TC. I might not come off that way, but like,
You know?
I like animals. I like animals a lot. I don't like killing bugs.
roasting 'em.
Even.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
He doesn't
He's sitting there
believe me.
He's sitting there delivering the line to the ant too. He's like,
That's
"Oh,
it.
you look pretty nice today, huh?
Yeah. Going for a little walkie-talkie,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you're going for a little walk? Yeah, not anymore.
Get a little sunshine.
But you said you
right.
considered it, TC, which means that you also
Yeah.
think this movie is
It's
mentionable at the very least.
no, it's a good
Right?
movie.
Yeah,
I just don't want to watch it again,
yeah, it's fine.
which doesn't make it a great movie
Is it? I
because
mean,
it's like a type of movie that's it's so fucked up that you may not watch it
It is
again.
unlike anything else there.
It doesn't
though. I
make
mean,
itself
100%.
want to
it
be
really-
watched again. You know,
I try to watch like T-Tane. I put it in my honorable mentions because that movie
never watching
is
that again.
pretty fucked up
Sort
and
of
pretty
going after
unique.
being fucked
But
up,
like,
yeah.
it doesn't even come close
No.
to having the same
no,
kind of like.
this is way
message.
more psychological.
Yeah.
that movie. Yeah,
Because it's talking
Clockwork
about
is
being
way
a human
more like-
at its most like base level.
Yeah.
It's talking about how fucked up humans are, and it has a lot of good points. and it does it in like a beautiful fucked
But
up.
even then, not only are you fucked up, but how you try to unfuck up people and how you can fuck
And if that
up.
can
Yeah,
work,
that's true.
Right,
but
right.
it probably can't, right?
Yeah.
People are who they are for the most part, and there's, I mean,
And Denny was out there roasting ants. I mean, I
I
don't know.
wasn't.
Right. You can't help it. That's just who you are, man. It's okay. You know, I mean, you might need to get locked up, but it's just who
Yeah,
you are.
right. You know, they got meds for that. You know,
They do, but mostly
Yes,
all they
they've
do is
gone-
sedate you.
yeah, they've come a long way.
Yeah,
you know?
he's not killing
Yeah.
anybody anymore because he can't get out of bed.
Right.
that's right.
Oh, his worst fear is he's going to get a trail of ants that go right across his bed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The ants will come back. Revenge.
I'd be mad at myself if I didn't mention the digital Mozart soundtrack in The Clockwork Orange.
I
The
know.
soundtrack
Yeah.
is incredible.
It
And the
is,
person
yeah.
who did it was like an award-winning person back in the 70s when digital wasn't a huge thing yet. And all that stuff, it fit perfectly in the movie, made it super, like, still sounds super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
There's just a
It-
lot
it's
of
very
parts
weird.
that. Yeah.
And it makes
There
me
was
think
just
of
a
Blade
lot of
Runner
things
almost,
in that
like, where
movie.
It's just this weird digital soundscape that's like with the film as well. That
Yeah, like with
because I
good
can hear that. I can
synthesis
hear that in my
knowledge,
head,
yeah.
and I can see Malcolm Dick McDowell
first-
staring at you.
Yep,
And he's sitting there. He's sitting there like looking at you.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Yeah,
That is
it-
me,
it-
Alex.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that is my droogs, dim and whatever he says. Like in the beginning. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Movie's
That
awesome.
is- it's
Also, one of
amazing.
those movies talking about first 1 minute sucks you
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, that's true.
It does.
Right.
Opening like the
It's
Clockwork
pretty
Orange
amazing.
on a bright orange screen, and then it cuts to them in that weird fucking room, and he's staring at the camera with his makeup and his outfit, and there's
Yeah.
that weird music, and it starts to pan out.
And the one
the
eyeliner,
voiceover. Yeah.
goddamn, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Ah, man, it's fucking with me already.
Number 3. All right, so I already did my number 2, which was The
Yeah.
Shining. So
Yep.
who wants to go number 2 first out of you two?
Oh, we're gonna go number 2 together. That's
yeah,
weird.
That's a little bizarre, man.
Lots of poop jokes.
Been through
Yeah,
a lot.
the second one, isn't it? Yeah, I can't help it.
All right, John, number 2.
Number 2.
TC number 2.
Interesting.
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket. Kubrick.
I was gonna talk. All right.
You taking too
Too
long,
late.
John. Taking
I
too
was
long.
thinking. All right, it's fine.
Go TC.
Full Metal Jacket was the best thing ever because I, fancy myself to be Private Joker, and
Let's hear your John Wayne impression.
John Wayne, is this me?
I was off the cuff. Wasn't great.
I mean, that was
But,
as,
you know,
as
when
good
you
as
do
his
it.
impression,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
That's true.
yeah.
You're right. You're very
That's true. I was doing it like
very
the Joker.
Joker-like.
Yeah.
I just love that story because it's like normal people that go into a war, right? Because you got to figure that story and it didn't get told much back then. Like it was like these people are going into war, but they're not really dying to be there, right? Like they're going to war because they have to. So their personalities aren't going to be like what we think of a military person now who's like gung ho and fucking going because they want to go. Right? Like the draft, that thing was fucking different back then. So, these guys were going to war and they were still normal people. And I liked the angle that they chose as like the photographer, right? Because it's not something you would think of in a war movie that they're going to like follow the photographer. Usually, like think about Saving Private Ryan. They're following the guys with the guns,
Right.
right? Like that's way more important.
I hadn't thought about this before, but Kubrick was a photographer to start. So that's maybe him giving
let's get some
himself a little homage there.
Right. Yeah, I could see that. I also just like that's one of those movies that definitely has different acts to it. So there's
Right.
like there's
Yeah.
There's two,
different
right?
sections.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
really,
like half
it's
and
two
half,
major
isn't
acts.
it?
Yeah, it's like half and half, but there's major differences.
Yeah.
It's like two different movies almost. But a lot of the dialogue that they spoke about in the first half is comes back in how they act in the second half. It's not about them speaking anymore. So it's like all this stuff, the setup, it comes to fruition on the battlefield. There's just so much good shit there. And like all the struggle they had in the beginning with the way that they, had to go through boot camp, but actually also go through the fact of like dealing with someone that isn't going to go to war because he's nuts, right? Like there's like so many more things you're dealing with besides just getting ready for war. So there's just so many good parts of that story. I've seen that movie so many goddamn times. I remember seeing it as a younger person too and being like, what the fuck? Who made this movie? Right? So yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time. So had to put it number 2.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Another Kubrick. I think he's as far as our list goes, he's the director most in our list. I expect
so.
he's going to have at least one more.
I think our number ones might all be the same.
Spoilers, John?
Yeah.
Spoilers?
I think our number ones are all going to be the same. I think they're going to all be the same.
What's your number 2, John?
So my number 2, I feel like I'm going to be a comedy apologist here of some sorts. My number 2 is Monty Python.
Monty
and the Holy
Python.
Grail.
That's an honorable mention of my thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yes.
I was gonna be confused if that didn't come up with one.
I knew exactly what you were going to say
list.
when you said comedy.
Yeah,
And I was like, it's got to be Monty
the way
Python.
it's kind of funny. It's like this film is like sort of 2/3 finished. You know, I mean, it's like they ran out of money. But God, when we watch this one, it's like I know every part of this film just about, and so much of it is just gold. It's just so funny. And Graham Chapman is so fucking good as like the king who's like, you know, puzzled but polite, you know, throughout the whole thing, and apparently drunk, but.
Yeah.
From what we learned, but it's just his character is so fantastic. Like he's another like underappreciated role, I think. I mean, I know there's all this comedy going on, but he's just there being kind of confused and polite throughout the whole thing. It's just, I don't know. I just love it so much. There's so much like social commentary in it. There's so much just ridiculousness. I think like John Cleese is just one of my favorite like outraged actors ever.
He's just so
DC,
funny.
can you
in
hiccup
general.
during John's review here? Can you say?
That's right.
No, coughing.
But I just love seeing, this is another one I can see over and over. You know, I've seen it so many times, I probably have the thing more or less memorized, and I'm still happy to watch it. It's probably one of the films that I think of quoting, you know, like, oh, come see the violence inherent in the system. I'm being repressed or whatever. Oh, it's the king because he doesn't have shit all over him. Or just, I mean, again, just like these things that come to mind about it that I just love this film. This is just such an amazing piece of work. It is sort of like scrappy as it is and sort of like put together and as it is, it's also kind of amazing that it's not this like, and I'm sure they work very hard on their comedy, but it's not like this meticulous work of craftsmanship either. And that's kind of the point too. You know, it's like they don't have horses; they have fucking coconuts that are banging together, and they make that part of the whole film. It's like
It's so dumb, but it's funny.
it is, but it's just oh man, it's just so good. And I just again,
It's relentless with the comedy, and most of
Yeah.
it is really fucking good.
most of it is and
It's so good that like there are little details in what they do that make it funny over like multiple views.
yeah,
Like the hiccuping thing. I remember that being like that was I didn't remember that being that funny, but like during the list viewing, I was like, that is one of the best parts of this entire fucking scene.
Right.
And that scene is also very funny where he's just arguing with him whether or not they should leave the room. And it's obvious that they shouldn't leave the room. He's like, okay, I got it. It just turns around, fucking leaves.
Right.
You're like, what is this?
I know. It's really silly. It's like some stupid Saturday Night Live thing in some way. It's like a little sketch, right? But I don't know. The way this whole film comes together is just, I don't know. It's amazing to me. It's sort of strange. It's to me, it's strange. It's like I thought about this one a lot. It's like, wow, I was surprised I put this up so high because it's not this meticulous work of craftsmanship in some ways either. Like, you know, like I put it higher than Lawrence
It
Arabia.
is.
What the fuck
It
is
is,
wrong
though.
with me?
It is.
I don't, you know, but
The comedy
yeah.
craftsmanship is timeless,
Yeah.
man.
But I mean, that's
That's
that's a movie that's going to go down.
But I just
Yeah.
think
As
this
a
film has
classic.
given me more joy than just about any film that I know of.
I think
Like,
making people like drama is easier than making people laugh. Making people
Yeah.
laugh, especially over and over again when you've already seen it and over time,
Yeah,
that shit
right.
is impossible. And this movie is still funny to
Right. It
fucking
is.
Yeah,
everyone. So like
Yeah.
they focused on that and good on them.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter that like the camera,
right,
like
good point.
the resolution isn't great.
right,
The
right,
sets
right.
aren't great, but it kind of all aids.
No, it's like
it
totally
aids to it.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it looked better, it might be worse, I think. Right?
Yeah,
If it was
I
all,
agree.
like, super
if
crystal
somebody was
clear.
trying to take it seriously, I mean, again, you'd lose the sort of feel. It's kind of like it's like a sloppy rock and roll band or something, right? You know, it's like it's just the energy and the feeling is there. It's not like somebody like sat there
Which
and
replacements
workshopped it.
album is it, John?
Right.
Which
Yeah,
replacements
Fuck yeah.
album?
It's Sorry Ma, Forgot to Take Out
That's
the Trash.
right.
is
It's
what
the
it
first
is.
one.
It's like, yeah,
It's
it
the
is.
sloppy classic.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
They got
That's
a
what it is.
little
And-
more mature later on. It wasn't as good. You
Yeah,
know?
no, it's a little too polished,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So it's awesome. I just love this film. Yeah.
So just to let you know too, I went through this with Naomi, this list, and I asked her to like make her list.
Oh.
And this was
Interesting.
this was her number 2. Also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Way to go, Naomi.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
All right. Who
All
else has a
right.
number 2?
right.
Nobody.
Everybody's called out their
Is
number
it time
twos?
for the number one? Number one. Number one.
I'm really interested
Number
to see. I think I
one.
know.
I
Wait a
think
minute.
we all have the same number one.
No,
We
we
do.
don't.
We do.
No,
We
we
do.
don't.
We
No,
don't.
we don't.
We have
I'm
to.
sure we don't.
We have to.
No,
Do we not?
no. I have a
Come on,
it's
John,
like-
you're
did you fuck
telling
this up?
me-
Did you fuck this up, John?
I
You're
didn't
telling
fuck
me
this
you
up.
didn't put that movie?
I
What'd
put
you
the
put?
movie
I
that
remember
was-
thinking in the first 50 that
There's
we
no
were
way
all going to
you
put
didn't put
Jaws at number one, and you guys didn't even
No.
think about
Right,
Jaws.
right.
So
No,
I don't
I
even
don't
know
know.
if we've moved past that yet.
Imagine if the three of us all put different movies right now. I can't imagine that's true.
So,
Yeah.
Denny, there is a movie I thought that you would have put by now, and since you haven't, I think it might be your
It's
number
definitely
one.
And
number
that's not
one.
what your number one is?
It's
That's what
number one.
TC's is too, apparently.
Oh,
No,
100%.
There's
Come on,
a
we
Kubrick
both know.
film that you didn't put that I think is going to be your number one.
Yes.
Right?
I'll go.
So,
I'll go first.
You
Here we go.
first,
Ready?
Right?
2001.
2001, A Space Odyssey.
Space
You got
Odyssey.
the number wrong. This is for fun.
2030.
2020. That's not
Space
the right year.
Odyssey.
2010.
2022 Space
It's got Roy
Odyssey.
Schneider in it. It's the sequel to one of the best movies, but
That's
this
right.
movie
Yeah.
somehow
They were gonna put a
is
shark in
better
it.
Yeah.
than the first one.
Right.
Directed by somebody else, I don't even know, but fucking Roy Schneider
Right.
carries
Yeah.
the film.
Come on,
Yes,
Roy
good
Schneider's
for
the
him.
best. He's best in comedy.
2001.
He is
John,
good.
it's not even, that's fine. That's fine, John. I respect you less.
John,
now.
what'd
That's
you
all I
put
gotta
for
say.
number
It's
one?
all right. I know you expect
Come
like,
on.
No,
You
let's
didn't
talk
put
about
Odyssey?
2001 for no.
You didn't put Odyssey.
You did? Did you, TC?
Oh, you know I did.
2001
You did?
Space Odyssey.
How could you not?
2001
It's one of the
Space
best movies
Odyssey.
ever.
I will explain shortly, but first let's talk about this
All
one.
right, well, who's your... I want to know who the number one
No,
is.
you
then.
don't get it.
Oh,
Go
Go
ahead,
wait,
Steady.
let's
Go
go.
ahead,
Let's go
Denny.
first.
ahead.
Can we go
I mean-
first?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
go, Danny. You go first.
Me go first?
Go.
Or TC.
All right.
No.
Superficially, this is the best looking movie I've ever seen. I think the cinematography and the set design and the coloring and the way it's shot and all that stuff, especially because it was made in 1960, still holds up. Movies get close to it. Some of Denis Villeneuve's movies come close to it, but
I think that's why you love Denny's. I mean, the
I do.
parallels there
Yeah.
are like in terms of like meticulous.
Same with Akira.
visual and the
Very
audio.
similar.
you know,
Yeah.
it's my favorite style.
Yeah.
It just seems heavier. The way like the slow camera movements makes things seem heavier and just adds like weight to everything. The best part of this movie is that it makes me think about the origin of existence. There's almost no other movie that makes me think about that. Maybe like, what was that one that was like a Bergman movie about death and stuff? That one kind of made me think about
The
it.
Seventh Seal.
Seventh Seal.
Yeah.
This one gives you an idea, a science fiction idea about how apes became smart. Like we still don't know that. We have all this crazy ass technology. We have no idea what the fuck happened in the history of this planet, which is something nobody really ever thinks about. I don't like to think about it because it's kind of scary, but when you do think about it, it is kind of, it's fun to think about what could have happened. You know, we are so clueless that religion exists and Scientology exists, right? You can't disprove that shit. We are fucking clueless. And this movie is like, all right, aliens came down, put a monolith on the earth, made monkeys smart, buried a monolith on the moon, sent us to Jupiter, put a fucking monolith in orbit, and that transforms you to a new form of existence? Sure.
I mean, when you sum it up that
Sure.
way, it's,
If you believe in fucking
Yeah.
religion, yeah,
Meanwhile-
I will believe in this
along the
fucking
way,
movie.
You know, you have this amazing set pieces with in space, and you have this Hal character, the artificial life we create. Hal, right? You know, so it has this like sort of, you know, parallel there too in terms of like the humans
yeah, which we just
creating the
call
robot.
Alexa now.
Yeah, Alexa. Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
Plus, also like being in
Uh-oh.
space, all that those special effects are really good too.
Mhm.
None of
Yeah.
it is aged, I don't think.
Not a bit. I mean, there's no remastering or whatever of it, and you know, unlike Blade Runner, which benefited from it, but yeah, when we watched 2001 again, it was just immaculate. It just looks amazing.
I mean, it really was. And it's still
That's without
on these
touch-ups,
nice big
right?
screens, too. It still looks good.
Yeah.
Looks awesome. I mean, you'd think that even digitized, it's still
that's
great.
astonishing. That's like, yeah,
And
yeah.
especially after watching Doctor Strangelove and how shitty that movie looked, he went straight to this movie. That is
He
mind
was, he was resting up. Maybe he was resting up. You know, he was just kind of conservative.
I don't know, man. This movie looks
so.
so good. The special effects
Yeah.
look so
it
good.
does. Yeah, it's great.
And like the drama is cool. The science fiction is like, it's really slow. So I could kind of see, I don't know, John's going to say it's slow, I guess. whatever.
Oh
The
no,
movie-
it's slow. I like that it's slow. I like that that's what it is. It's a very relaxed thing. It's like also that's part of it. Things move slow in space.
Yeah.
It takes you a while to get where you're going. You're not, even if you're like trying to cross the room or whatever and you're weightless, you're not going to just sit there and jog right over there. It's going to be slow. And I think that's like, it puts you in that mindset that this is, things are moving slowly here. And that all, I think, it puts you in this idea of large swaths of time because you're thinking about existence. You're thinking about this long period of evolution or whatever, or transformation. So it just puts you in this mindset of long, slow processes. And it just sort of gets you, it makes you receptive to these ideas, I think.
Plus,
So-
also, the slowness of the movie makes it feel more realistic, like you're actually there with them
right.
in everything
Well,
that they're doing.
Right. And then it matches the realism of everything else, the visuals and the audio and everything else, which is so realistic too. So it's not like, it's a very slow paced movie, but it works extremely well for it. I mean, some people are probably bored by it. I mean, but
That's understandable.
Who are these people?
Yeah.
Who are these fucking people?
If you're
A lot of my
fuck
friends.
them up.
why don't you
I'll
go
fuck
see a
'em
perk
up.
me up action film?
They don't like
it's
it.
not going to work. That's all.
Anyway,
Yeah.
to go over.
Honorable
TC, what do
mention
you
by
got,
me.
dude?
He's my favorite movie. It's one of the best movies of all time. I can watch it over and over and over again. I don't care how long it
Wait,
takes.
but it's your number one too, huh? Nice.
Yeah, that's my number one.
What's your
I don't
favorite?
see how you
What
could-
are your favorite parts
anything
about it?
Honestly, even just them walking, that one scene of him walking in the ship is one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Amazing. Yeah.
In a movie.
Which is him
I've
like
never
punching
seen
in the air, like just
yeah,
jogging, and it cuts to him
running
like
around and like it's
you're
moving,
behind
and
him,
I'm like,
and then it
this
cuts,
is-
and then you're in front of him. And you're like, oh god, this.
I
is
remember
so
thinking
good.
when I first saw that, like, oh, is that how spaceships work? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. I don't fucking know. Think I know?
And they
Whatever
show
I
you
get
like
is from
the ship
comic books and
outside
movies.
rotating, like the giant cylinders. You're like, oh,
It
I
all
guess
makes
he's in
sense.
one of those cylinders.
It checked out. It totally checked out
Yeah.
for me. Yeah. And just I really like that creepy robot thing.
Yep.
Especially
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I too for like we grew up in the computer age. Like we're the first ones that even used one, and like they do have a mind of their own. Usually it's because some assholes on the other end being a dick and hacking people these days, right? But like back then, like that could have been. There was totally a plausibility that like you program these things and all of a sudden, who knows? We don't know. Like at that point, everyone was like, it couldn't happen, right? It couldn't happen. And everyone's like, I don't know. Could
We're
it happen?
still there, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, right. But like, it's just something about that, the idea of like the computers taking over. That's always, kind of freaked me out.
Mhm.
And so it's such a great.
And he does it
little-
with such cold, calculating
Right.
determination.
The character
Right.
is so iconic.
Yeah.
Like the way it's
He's the
voiced,
best villain in a fucking movie.
Right. The
and it's
view
not,
of the
and it doesn't
camera,
even
and-
do anything.
And
Yeah.
that you have some sympathy at the end when
All he needs to do is
dies.
switch off life
Yeah.
support.
Right.
That's all he
Right.
needs to
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Easy. Just shut it off.
Yeah.
But
No
then,
effort.
Then at the end, when you have sympathy for Hal, saying Hal's scared,
Yep.
that's
I'm
fucking
scared.
amazing. That at the end,
That
is,
line
is amazing.
Is like just. Whew.
yeah, it is.
Would
I
you
wasn't.
stop?
It's one of those things that you
Stop.
don't expect coming.
Dave.
It doesn't come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave,
I'm afraid.
Dave.
I'm afraid,
Dave.
right? That was
Dave.
like amazing.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
still was trying to get him.
It was.
still
But
did not
It was
get him.
trying. It was
It also
getting
was
itself out of a
generally-
corner.
It was afraid, which was
It was.
again, and so
Like
you
the fucking
start
thing's got
to-
feelings.
Well, yeah. So
He
that
removed
was
all the
amazing.
oxygen from the spaceship so he couldn't survive, but he has a spacesuit on so it can't stop him at that point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think I'm good.
fucking awesome.
I shot him into space. There's no oxygen in here. I'm fine. Oh shit, he's in my brain with a spacesuit unscrewing my existence.
My
Fuck.
existence. Yep.
And then it ends in the coolest trippy freaking scene in movie history. It's a 2.5 hour long. Is it 3 hours long? It's a very long movie. It's very
Long
slow.
movie.
And then the last portion of it is just
It
insane.
is insane
It's
little laser
insane.
light show for your ass.
Yeah. And then he's in an old ass room and walks around that for 5 minutes. And then he's floating above the earth in a bubble and he's a baby. And then the credits roll. What the fuck?
And
That's
nothing
some
makes
weird
sense.
shit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some weird shit. But yep, favorite movie.
I think it's my favorite
It's good
movie
stuff.
ever. TC. I don't know. You said that.
I mean,
think.
I don't know. We'll see as we got another 50 to go. There's a lot
Yeah.
of good movies on this list. I was
But
just looking through
is-
it now.
It's a good one.
God damn it, John! If you put Das Boot as your favorite movie,
did,
I'm gonna
didn't he?
fucking throw.
He
I'm gonna
did,
throw
didn't he?
the fucking computer.
Why would you
He
do that?
did Das
It's
Boot.
fucking good. It is the fucking best ensemble movie
Are
ever.
you kidding me? Are you
Ever.
kidding me?
It is the best ensemble movie ever.
Oh,
It is a
what a great
fucking
fucking
amazing film.
How good was
Das
that?
Boot was my
Yeah,
number
yeah.
6, John.
That
I'll
was a
give you
great
that.
call.
Right.
But that was a great
that's fine.
call.
Yeah.
You
Tell
should
me
do
that's
that.
not a
See,
good
that was a
call.
very good call.
It was a
Very
good call.
good.
How could you? I mean, I was surprised you guys. At that
It was,
movie,
it's number 6, dude. How do you put it?
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
put it
Dude,
below Inglourious Basterds, but it was a hard
I
fucking call.
scrolled by it, John, on the list, and I was like, that motherfucker chose Das Boot. I know he
that
did.
movie-
I know he did.
I mean, because I'm not seeing another movie like this where they have a group of people interacting so realistically, a large group of people. The way that they do that in this film is unlike anything I've ever seen. Even there's nothing that comes close to this.
Agreed. Even with Lawrence of Arabia's like epicness and like even Lord of the Rings and Star Wars or any of that shit, it's not the same.
It's not the same as a bunch of people together acting.
Yeah.
A bunch of people in a situation. This is that to me. That was like
With like no
anything
CG to fix it.
Right,
Just
right,
people in a room.
right.
Yeah.
To give you the
Getting
sense
sprayed with water all the time.
The setting, the way they did the setting, and the way that they have you in, give you the sense of being in the ship with these people and how these people are interacting is fucking second to none. I mean, I have not seen anything like this, and to me, that just made this film like the most riveting of anything that we've seen. And then reading the book too, this is also like when I book corner. This is what started me in book corner because I started to read the book and really liked it. I think that's when I really started to be like, well, okay, I want to find more reading stuff related to whatever film we're watching because I like that book so much because the book is really good.
Because you can't fall asleep when you're reading and still know what's going on.
That's right. But I just don't think of anything else where you have such a large number of people interacting as part of a film and going through a situation and being in such a confined space. I mean, it just was so brilliantly.
It doesn't seem
done.
like a movie, right? It seems like you're actually in the submarine with these people.
And
it's
just
not like
don't-
this is this person's Oscar scene. This is this person's Oscar scene. It's
Exactly.
like, no, everyone is fucking living in this boat. And they're all just interacting as
again,
necessary.
Like you said, you got Lawrence of Arabia and Peter O'Toole is fucking good, and the other people are there and they're interacting with him, and that's good too. But that's just not quite what this is at all. And it's just this group of men in the boat, and you get this sense of what it's like to be part of a crew. And that's kind of the whole point too. I mean, but man, to get that kind of realism amongst a group of people in a confined setting, I don't know if that's ever going to be done again. I just don't.
May not.
That Brad Pitt movie Fury certainly didn't do it with Shia
Well,
LaBeouf.
that's too, like, they don't shoot
Yeah.
they don't shoot like that anymore because it's so expensive to do
Well,
that
then
stuff.
you see like, these guys were like outside of Hollywood. They were like doing these crazy things with like, like all these models and stuff and nearly killing themselves along the way.
That's one of my my favorite pieces of trivia is like the submarines was a dude laying down flat in a tiny little boat with a remote control in the ocean. Fuck that. That is dangerous.
I mean, this film created more tension in me than anything I've seen. In terms of like,
there we
the
go.
tense moments.
There
that
we
they
go.
have.
Tension.
I
More
think
than
that,
Uncut Gems, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full circle.
I think so. Well, because
True.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, it had the most impact. I think just because
there was
so
release
realistic.
in this movie, though. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At times, yeah.
In
No,
Uncut
that was
Gems,
the
there
thing.
was
That
no
was the point.
release.
Right. Yeah. That's.
I'm just trying to make me right. Nothing is more tense than Uncut Gems.
Is like, is like a,
like, where's he going with this?
I am
Who gives a
right.
shit about
You're
Uncut
right.
I was
Gems?
right 2
I don't give
hours
a shit
ago.
about- I
Yes.
don't give a shit about Uncut Gems anymore.
Uncut Gems doesn't let up. It doesn't fucking let
Remember,
up.
John was like,
Neither does
there's
Denny.
another tense
Neither
movie.
does Denny.
There's one more
Yes.
tense.
Yeah.
No, there
Yeah,
wasn't,
you're
John.
right.
No, there wasn't.
No.
Such an
He was
asshole.
right, John. Say it.
Exactly.
But this is like Uncut Gems. The tension is like a psychological, emotional. This person's character
See,
is the tension.
he's saying words, but he's not proving his point. The point is settled. We're good.
Yeah.
I love that. You're saying words, but your words mean nothing to me.
You know, I hear these words now. What the hell he's talking
I'm sorry.
about? Yeah.
But this was I think it's like kind of also too like with you and Lawrence Arabia. This is the out of all the films that we've seen, this is the one I hadn't seen before that knocked me out. Out of all the films
Like
that
you
I
fell
had-
asleep or like you
No,
couldn't
like
believe
I was
it? You were
like very
overcome.
impressed. I was overcome and very impressed.
This was the
Yeah.
second because it was my number 6, John. Also,
Yeah.
my second one that knocked me out. Yeah,
Right,
this movie
like I
was.
already seen Lawrence of Arabia,
And
so that,
spoilers.
Larry.
I spent 12 hours one day reverse
Oh my
engineering
God.
the podcast episode for Laura. Go back to the DOS boot episode and listen to the
we
first.
should
man.
give Denny credit for this. Finally,
Denny needs to have a round
Did
of
we ever talk
applause
about
for the
this on the
editing.
podcast before?
Best editing.
Yes, yeah, we've not said this.
We've not said this. All right. So for the DOS
tell the
boot
story.
episode, it was a 2-parter. It was a great episode. A lot of trivia. John read the book. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. See the movie. Listen to the episode. The first part of that episode, I lost my audio, and I'm the one with the backup audio. So like most of the time when we lose audio, I use the Skype recorded track on my computer, but I lost the audio, so there was nothing. And what I did is I don't think I had a choice. Like on Friday, I was like, well, I have time this weekend. I have either we scrap this episode or we try to record it again, or I listen to what John and TC had recorded and try to record my audio again against them. So I would
recreate.
listen. I listened to the entire thing backwards. So like I had to listen to John and TC's reaction, remember what I
the
said,
fuck?
and then I recorded it and then edited it so I fit
And
into that.
you wouldn't know.
You'd never know.
It sounds so
You'd
good.
never
It's
know.
so-
It took me
it's so
12
fucking
hours
amazing.
to do it.
I know. It's amazing.
And that's
man.
not even that bad, really.
No,
After
it was an
losing
hour-long
audio, I mean,
hour-long
geez.
episode. It was like, so I do it in little intervals, like, and luckily, like, I kind of remember what I said most of the time because, like, you guys would, the way our conversations go, it's like you'd respond to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I think I said something about this, and then I said that again.
Holy
But I
shit,
had to
yeah.
Yeah,
act
hey,
it.
what's
I
the dumb
fucking-
thing I said in that sentence? Oh, okay, I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, oh really? They're just listening to me still.
Oh, wow,
Man,
that was
I'm a
really
fucking
stupid.
idiot.
Oh, I know what I said. Yeah, right.
I think I said something about, man, those actors look wet, and you're like, yeah,
they're
they did look
they're
wet.
all wet.
Yeah.
they're really wet.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
they
water.
look wet. Yeah,
Man,
they look wet.
There's a
Daddy.
lot
Yeah.
of dudes in that tube. Yeah, there's a lot of
There's a
dudes in
lot
that
of
tube.
dudes in that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man! Yeah, well, good job, sir.
Good job, Denny. You got best
editor
amazing,
award.
amazing
It was
bit of
it was
editing
the
work.
most effort I've put into this podcast by far.
yeah.
yeah.
Oof.
On the DOS boot
Yeah.
episode.
That's good stuff, though. It's it's a
Yeah.
learning experience. It's all part of the journey.
That's
Yes.
right.
Should
our
you take
biggest-
another recording pause? Probably. here?
Yeah, I just did that.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Oh, you did?
I need to go take a
real
break
quick, I wanted to do
Yeah.
one honorable mention. I've already mentioned
Oh,
the other
yeah.
two.
Is anybody else want
I did DOS Boot and Monty Python were two of them. And
Yep.
the other one that I wanted to mention was Princess Mononoke. That movie is
Yeah.
awesome. If you like animated movies, Princess Mononoke is one of the best Ghibli movies. We still have one further in the list, but I think Princess Mononoke is my personal favorite one. Super hard fantasy, very like
No,
the
it's good.
violence is good.
Yeah.
The fantasy stuff is super original. I think it's almost as good as the Lord of the Rings movies, maybe better, but it's animated.
I mean,
so.
you're not gonna. You can any movie's better
Any
than
of them.
those.
I mean, I
haven't
also,
seen them yet,
it was-
TC?
This is
I'm not
prior-
gonna like them no matter what.
You might.
Yeah. This is prior
Yeah, I
to
might.
Ghibli.
I might.
but,
I might.
Yeah, I
Like
had
sushi.
Grave of the Fireflies as one of my honorable mentions too.
Dude, that
one
was a great
close.
fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a great one. I mean, I really do like all the Ghiblis. I have to
They're
say,
so good.
I-
Without
I'm
exception, we've all
pleasantly
really enjoyed them.
surprised
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I don't
TC
think I've
hasn't
seen one
You haven't
that
seen Spirited
didn't like
Away, which is
Yeah, we're
by
about,
all
well,
accounts
we're
everyone's
about
favorite
to get
one.
there. Yeah,
which is like, when you read about that one online, holy fuck, does that have a following?
Lower your
Yeah.
expectations a little bit, just so you don't.
Okay.
probably, but it's still Ghibli, so it's still
Yeah,
it's going to be
it's
good.
So
really
still
good,
Ghibli, right.
But like,
Yeah, I
just
think
lower
no
your
matter what,
expectations.
like I do have a Ghibli baseline now.
Yeah.
Where like no matter what happens, I'm still gonna like it somewhat
Yeah.
because like it just I've gained a respect for the Ghiblis for sure,
yeah.
and that's
We're
not
the
that's
Ghiblis.
saying something for me.
For all the Ghiblis.
On
That
the
is-
Ghiblis, dude.
Turned you on to animation.
Yep,
That's true.
but not the room. Or Nomad.
Any other honorable mentions that you guys had? I had-
Those are my three.
Let me see.
I had
Go
Old
back to
Boy.
the list. Go back to this.
That was a good one.
As another one that was really striking with its presentation and stuff. I think it's just sort of hard to. The situational stuff that happens there is just so disgusting that it's like, I don't know, it makes it hard to really celebrate. The action scenes in there are just astonishingly good. Like the hallway scene, some of the way the action plays out in that film is really amazing.
I liked, Braveheart.
Come on, no.
Come on, Braveheart.
We'll get
I
to
like the
that
scene
in the
where he
next
jumps
section.
out of
use
the
that-
hole in the wall.
I
and the
use
horse.
that meme. I use that meme all the time because when you're in crypto and you just suck, you just like hold and you just do the meme with him
Oh
holding.
my
Hold.
god!
To the moon.
Yeah, Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Yeah, I know,
liked
right?
that one. I kind of forgot that one was even on the list, although I don't think I would have put
fuck.
it in anything.
How can we not? Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. I don't really have too many other honorable mentions, to be honest. I mean, Old Boy was fucked.
It was. To Kill a Mockingbird was another one I put on there too. That was one that I was pretty struck
Old
by.
Boy
that I hadn't
was
seen
just
before.
tough. Remember that one?
I
Jesus
know it
Christ.
was tough. It was
I love
tough.
it. Hammer to the teeth.
It was a good
God,
one.
Yeah, right. Oof.
But
I tried. To
I
forget
really
about
liked.
it.
Just looking at this now, Paths of
Jingo.
Glory. I think before we had our episode, I would have put it on my list, but I think you guys talked me off of it because this is a good thing for the podcast because the first time you watch something when you're younger, it affects you a certain way, but if it doesn't hold up over time, it's not as good. The first time I watched that movie, it was very affecting, but watching it this time and then talking to you guys, kind of like, oh, well.
But we liked Paths. We still liked it. I mean, it was still pretty impressive film.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah.
I mean, you guys will be shocked, but I don't really remember it.
Kubrick.
Three guys going to die.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas
with his shirt off, bunch of trenches.
Yep.
Not ringing a bell.
He's nodding his head. He remembers it, folks.
Not ringing a bell at all.
All right.
Quick break.
All right.
Quick break.
And then bonus.
And then bottom three.
No,
and then
bottom
some
three.
bonus
Bottom
stuff.
three. Oh, God.
Yeah.
And then the bonus. Sweet.
And the bonus.
Stop 'em